All right, this problem is finding the circumference and area of circles. And they give us two options here. And you notice the difference between these pictures are, this is given a diameter here. 21 is a diameter. 21 centimeters equals diameter. And that's the distance across the circle. And in this picture, they give us a radius. And the radius is 16.5 feet equals the radius. So in this situation, when we solve for the circumference, we can choose one of two equations. 2 times r, which is simply the radius is half of this, multiplied by 2 will give us the diameter, but they gave us the diameter. So we can use this equation here with, it just has diameter times pi. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take our diameter of 21, that didn't come out right there, 21 centimeters, and we're going to multiply that times pi, which is 3.14. So 21 times 3.14. 65.9. So this is a 9, let's raise that to a 6. So we'll say 66. It doesn't tell us to round. Since it doesn't really give us any specific direction, we can do what we want. Okay, so then in this situation, we're given an r squared. And r squared is not the same thing as 2 times r. It's r times itself. So we can't use the 21. The 21 is the diameter. So we have to use half of 21, because half of 21 is the radius. And half of 21 is 10.5. And that equals r. So now we plug this value into our equation of pi r squared. So we have pi 0.14 times r, which is 10.5, squared, which is 10.5 times 10.5. So let's get our calculator, and we'll do 3.14 pi times the r, 10.5, squared times 10.5. And that is 346. So that equals, and when we find an area, we have centimeters squared now, because area is always in square centimeters or square inches or square feet. And that's because when you're taking an area, you are multiplying length times width to get the middle part of the shape. So this area is the middle, the inside of the circle. All right, on this one here, we have an r, so we can plug our r straight into our area. So we're going to do 3.14, because our formula is pi times r squared. R is 16.5, so 16.5 times 16.5, again because r is squared, so it's times itself. And that would be 3.14 times 16.5 times 3.14 times 16.5 times 16.5 equals. Let's round this to 855, because this 8 here tells us to round the 4 up. So we're going to say 855, and this is feet, and it's feet squared because we calculated area, and that's all the stuff in the middle, kind of all this stuff here. And now to calculate the circumference, we are going to use this formula, because we have a radius, and we can plug our number into this formula, 2 times the radius, so 2 times 16.5, and that's a different value than the radius squared. and then times pi. Okay, let's multiply that. And calculator, 2 times 16.5 times 3.14 equals, we'll round that to a 4 because that is a 6, and that is 104, and this is circumference, so it's just feet. All right, I finished.